The only way to have a level playing field at the highest level of play is to have is to not have voice chat, to not have people give up their linguistic profiles. I mean, and maybe you think, if you are a competitive gamer, which a lot of people have been like, Steph, you're not, you clearly know nothing about competitive play. Well, competition, by the way, y'all, competition requires you to get every advantage possible. To become the top 0.01% in any video game, you have to get squeeze every amount of advantage you can possibly get. Voice chat is unfair. Period.
This is Steph, one of the 8 members of the Twitch Safety Advisor Council, talking about that we need to ban voice chat from video games because marginalized groups do not enjoy this. Of course, this person somehow speaks for all marginalized groups and not just for themselves. Now, for the simplicity of this video, I am going to refer to this trans individual as she. From what little I found, they've been on hormone replacement for, I think they said 4 years, along with looking like they have taken top surgery, or is at least trying to actually appear to be the gender that they identify as. So that's my reasoning why I will use this person's pronouns, but in other instances, I will not use other people's, because I have my own set standards on when I will and won't indulge in somebody's preferred pronouns. Now, she says that in competitive play, you have to take every little advantage that you can get, but then talks about how you should get rid of voice chat because without voice chat, it's not a leveled playing field, which is exactly what it is. Yes, of course, it's not a level playing field if some people can communicate. That is just something that you have to deal with. It's also not a level playing field that other people have better monitors, faster internet, better mouses or controllers, whatever it may be. Maybe they are somebody who has spent most of their life playing video games, so their reactions are faster. Maybe they train, like maybe VR. Maybe that's helped them with their reflexes, whatever it may be. Life will never be an even playing field, video games or outside of that. So when you say that you must ban chat to create this even playing ground, even though you admit that in competitive play you need every advantage, you are actually trying to say that anything that is not like a standard that anybody has should now be banned from play in general, from how you're making it sound, just video games in general, but at least on a competitive surface. Now, some of her own viewers even started to push back, because not surprisingly, some people on Twitch play video games. So one of her viewers ended up saying, "You say it's a fact. Do you have evidence or studies to back it up, or are you just assuming that's why there is less minorities in pro gaming? Blaming voice chat is entirely shifting the blame. We should 1000% be calling out toxic attitudes in voice chat, but by simply removing it, we don't fix inequity in video games. You simply hide it. It still exists. You fix nothing." Which this person does have a point. If you are concerned about representation of minorities, whether it's LGBT, whether it's women, whether it's a racial minority like blacks, Asians, whatever it may be, religious minority, hiding voice chat doesn't change the lack of them in competitive gaming. And this is what she went on to say.
Hey, okay, but if we just hide voice chat, if we create a world where marginalized gamers are more likely to, if we create a space where marginalized gamers are more likely to succeed in a competitive environment, if we get marginalized players on pro teams and prove that they're mental equals, then that'll also help against harassment.
And this is what a lot of people have a problem with these kind of people, is the bigotry of low expectations. She's acting like voice chat is the reason why minorities aren't in pro gaming, and that it's not something that is skilled based. But she talks about proving marginalized people as mental equals. This is not a question that people are having. Nobody says, well, because of your skin color, because of your gender, because your LGBTQ status, you must not be as good as those guys. They're saying, show me what you got, and if you're as good as who I have, I might add you. What these people don't like is that gaming is a meritocracy, and then at the same time, they're going to say that it's just racism that keeps people down. Even though anybody who's actually watched any like esports events are fully aware that most pro gamers are not white guys. Most of them are Korean people or from other Asian cultures. But again, to say that minorities aren't on a level playing field because of voice chat means that you think that these people are so soft that if anybody knows what they are behind the screen, their skill level takes a plummet. I mean, just look at you. You are a Twitch streamer and you are trans, but you don't have a problem with showing your face. You don't have a problem with your voice or anything like that. I mean, I'm sure that some people in both your own chat and in game chats probably give you a little hell over it because there are toxic assholes out there. I'm kind of one of them, actually. I know, shocker. But you don't seem to be afraid of this. Are you going to tell me that when you're offline, just doing your own thing, playing games on your own time, you are specifically better, not because you're not being watched and there's not that pressure, but because nobody on the other side of that screen that you're facing knows that you're trans? And then one of her viewers, who has the same line of thinking as she does, except for banning the chat, points out removing that voice chats from games because women feel like using it leads to them being harassed, so them choosing not to use it puts them at a disadvantage, is letting misogynistic, sexist people win. They then go on to talk about how it is women's responsibility to report harassment and the dev's responsibility to correctly respond to it. That is absolutely true. I don't think it is only women's responsibility. Obviously, I think anybody should do it if they see excessive harassment. I now mean true harassment, not what these people call harassment that really isn't. As anybody who has seen my gaming channel, which I don't really advertise here because I like to keep them separate, most of my friends that I play video games with, both because most of my friends offline and online just happen to mostly be women, there will be a few times, it's not very often, that we get into games and there are sexist pricks in there, whether or not they're really sexist or they're just trying to antagonize. I don't know. They could be douchebags and they could have picked on me for something, but they decided to go after my friends instead. We will troll the hell out of them. We will slaughter them, team kill them, we'll snipe them, spawn snipe them, whatever it is, depending on whatever kind of game, tunnel them, camp them, whatever we can do just to piss them off. And I believe anybody should do that for their friends or for even just their fellow gamer. Just if somebody wants to make it unfun for others, make it unfun for them. Make them leave. Don't have the person getting bullied leave. This is something I've been playing a lot of Red Dead. And I actually, when I see red people pop up on the map, people who are antagonizing and attacking other people, I ruin their fucking day because I am a high-level motherfucker. And I'm just going to keep killing these people so other people can go enjoy their day because I've been in that position and I wanted to help them out. I think it's a responsibility as gamers.
Okay, but here's the thing. Why don't we let the people choose whether or not, like you shouldn't force women to reveal that they're women on the competitive ladder, and that is what y'all are advocating for.
Okay, so this really shows off that this person, Stephanie, knows absolutely nothing about competitive gaming. First off, nobody's advocating that women have to reveal their identity. They're just saying that you shouldn't ban chat just because some people don't like to use it because they may get harassed. And because that triggers you is not a reason to ban it. Second, if you're talking about pro gaming beating on high levels like you keep mentioning and you just mentioned, your identity, your gender is already revealed. When you sign up for those teams, they ask you for what your gender is. When you come out on the stage to play in front of people, typically most people will see what your gender is. A lot of competitive gaming, especially the tournaments, are held in just like these giant setups. Everybody's got the same kind of rig that they're going off of, but they appear in person to do these. And I know some of them aren't in person, but typically when they announce your name as well, or if they checked out maybe like your stream or something, they'll find out what your identity is anyways. Chances are, if you are a pro player, you have a Twitter for like advertisements and stuff like that. you're more than likely going to reveal what gender you are on your Twitter, whether it's the pronouns in the bios, like I'm sure you have, or if it's a picture of yourself, whether it's somebody who referred to you with certain pronouns or whatever it may be. She's going to say here in a second that you shouldn't force women to reveal themselves to play the game. You are not forced to use chat ever. If you see chat as an advantage, that means it is not the baseline. It means that it is something that you can boost yourself over. Baseline, just the game. Maybe text chat, yeah, because a lot of them include that. Now, if it's an advantage to use voice chat, that means you don't have to. It's completely optional. Nobody is advocating that women have to use it. You're just advocating that some women don't want to use it, therefore nobody should get it.
You shouldn't force women to reveal that they are women in order to play the game. Right? Revealing their gender is a disadvantage. You should have the right to hide that.
This is something that anybody in the culture war has really noticed. These people don't know what rights are. Not revealing your gender, while technically isn't a right, revealing personal information, yes, you have the right not to do that, and you may consider your gender to be personal information. Most people don't care about that, but you don't have to reveal it. What you're doing is trying to say, not revealing your gender is right. Okay, let's say it's a right. If other people want to do that through chat, then that would be their right, wouldn't it? These people always advocate about what I want is a right, and therefore I can take what your rights are away from you. If you don't want to reveal yourself, that's fine. Don't make it so everybody else now no longer has that option because you don't want to take advantage of that option, or as you see it, disadvantage. And when I say advantage, I don't mean gender reveal. Obviously, I mean voice chat itself because it is a very handy thing. And then people come at her with some obvious logic that you would hope would be common sense, but as the saying goes, common sense isn't common. Some of them saying these are her own viewers. In fact, this one right here is a subscriber. Top level competitive play won't be impacted by voice chat because those players are likely to be on teams with their friends and have added game comms like Discord. It only impacts mid-level, which is absolutely true. And more than likely, if you are in the higher competitive play, you are on a team that you should, one, be talking to, and second, know you. They already know you're a woman. They're your teammates. You are a group you practice together. They know who you are. So all that would be was the audience now knows what you are. That's maybe what she could be referring to, but that doesn't affect your play. The audience knowing that you're a woman doesn't change your skill level. And the fact that she believes people knowing what you are on the other side of the screen somehow makes you lose all confidence in yourself is really fucked up. Another person says, what about women that want to declare that they are women and are proud of it? Which is somebody that I hoped is very proud of being trans, as they are, would be down for. You know, why? I get why, you know, some women don't want to enter voice chat, and maybe some LGBT people. Most minorities obviously don't give a shit. They fire back with their own comebacks because they typically have thicker skin. But what about the ones who like being who they are, who are proud of who they are? You want voice chats gone, so now every trans person has to hide? What about the ones that are proud of it? What about the women who are proud of it, the minorities who are proud of it? You don't actually want these things for them. You want this for yourself, and that is selfish and absolutely fucked that people are like this. And she will later do what they all do and run and hide as soon as any good points are brought up against them and just call everybody a troll. But again, the fact that you think so poorly of these people that they don't have a thick enough skin to handle it just shows that you are the bigoted one. You believe they are weak just because of how they are born.
To reach your peak competitive potential. Yeah, can we get some trans rights, some trans pride in the chat? Can I get some voices of support for me? You know, all the people here, I'm hearing a lot of trolls, but if I could get a lot of love here, the hearts and the kindness in chat, that'd be great. Yeah. Yeah.
And this is what people hate, and what's wrong with these people is anytime anybody wants to bring any legit points against them, they're just bigots or they are trolls or whatever, and they just call back in their reinforcements. And this is why I think this person does not actually care about video games. Because, one, if they did, they would understand how esports works and the fact that it is a very minority led game, and that, two, how advantages work in video games. We don't watch people to be on an even playing field, and you would have to ban absolutely everything if you wanted it to be absolutely even. But I think they're on Twitch just because they know that this is the community that will reaffirm their gender identity. I think that's obviously what it is, because as soon as people came in raising points, any good points against them, she immediately called for trans love. Not love for just who she is, but her gender identity specifically. I think that's why this person is here. And while they're here, they might as well play some crappy games or whatever. I don't know what this person plays. Maybe this person really is a gamer. Maybe they are a hardcore gamer. These are from clips that I just grabbed, a few of them that I checked out. I don't know this person's history. I could be absolutely wrong. They might be a real gamer. But as far as I'm aware, it seems like they're just here to reaffirm their gender identity, which isn't necessarily wrong. This just isn't the place for it. And obviously, if this is not a place where you belong, if you are not really part of the community, you should not be trying to make decisions for the community like this. I mean, how often have you seen actual gamers who are playing, Call of Duty, Dead by Daylight, whatever the hell it is that they play, go, oh, can I get women love? Can I get man love? Can I get, gay love, lesbian love, black love, whatever it is? How many times do you hear them ask for that? No, if they get support, it is typically because of who they are, not what they are. And these people tend to get, the ones concerned about identity, tend to get those two mixed up. They believe your label is who you are and not just what you are.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, it's beautiful. Stay mad. Stay mad, haters. I'm right. I'm right.
And it's clear at this point that the real reason why this person wants to ban voice chat is because they are a fucking asshole and they just don't want people to be able to be mean back. They are a smug prick and it hurts their little ego. And if anybody can say anything back to them,
that wants to not reveal their identity for risk of harassment, and we should empower that person to not have to do that. So when your team says, why aren't you joining voice chat, they might flame you for that, but they're way less likely to flame you for saying, why aren't you joining Discord? That's more like, hey, I'm not feeling it. You're way less likely to get harassed. Everyone's like, don't take away my voice chat. Like, oh my gosh. No, I'm probably not going to ever be able, I'm never going to, like, marginalized people by definition there's less of us.
a couple of things. One, they're going to talk about how Discord actually isn't a good option, even though they just talked about how it was a good option. But one, saying that because you're in the minority, you can't take away people's voice chat is not a good thing, because that means that if you were in the majority, you would want to. And two, you are in the majority because gaming is a global thing, and globally, over the globe, it is not white people who are the majority. And if you want to talk about the gaming community specifically, I still think all over the globe, it is not white people who are the majority of gamers. And again, if you don't want to talk global, then you're talking local. Well, guess what? It's women who make up the majority of Americans. I think it's like, 52% or so. If you want to talk about gaming, yeah, men probably are the majority of gamers in America, or I would even say probably all over the globe. But you would assume that if you weren't in the minority group, everybody who is in the majority group has to think alike, and they think just like you, which is what you think about the minority group as well. And that's why people don't like people like you, because you have the mindset that everybody has to think the same, and that is bigotry. She then goes on to say that the reason why these people are affected is because, one, they're being forced to reveal their identity. No, they're not, but she is talking about top tier, which means you will be using mics, but if you are top tier, you are on a team who already knows who you are. You are their teammate. You have signed up to join a gaming company, gaming, whatever you want to call it, team. They know who you are. You practice with them. You're not forced to do jack shit. You don't like it? Get the fuck out. Don't take away something for everybody else. But this is their only logic, is that it somehow puts them at a disadvantage, which is assuming that these people are so weak that this harms them somehow. But they never actually say how it's a disadvantage, other than some people might be mean to them, which, if this is a top tier thing, the other team either won't be able to hear them or will probably not trash talk them based off their gender, because this is normally a national or international event that is televised or at least streamed, and they would get flack for this. She also says that you can't just block people if you are on the high level. If you are on the high level, you don't need to block people, because one, again, people can't just trash talk based off of, whatever characteristics. And two, you would only be talking to your teammates more than likely. And three, yes, you can still block people. The only people that you can't actually block in voice chat that would affect anything is your own teammates, who, again, you are on a team with, you are on a esports team with, I'm assuming, because we are talking competitive. They already know who you are, and they are not going to trash talk their teammate based on their gender or whatever on fucking stream. If they're going to do that, they're going to do it offline, in which case chat didn't matter to begin with.
Sure, Night Vision, that sounds pretty good.
What I just showed you is her agreeing that one of her followers' ideal about making a voice chat in non-voice chat mode is a good idea. The reason why I'm showing you this is because she backtracks on it later, just like she ends up doing with Discord.
I'm just gonna use Discord anyway, but it's easier to say, no, I don't want to have Discord. No, I don't want to be part of that. And at least that way, you're still getting a disadvantage, but you're not getting harassed for not joining voice chat, which happens. If you play Heroes of the Storm, they're like, well, we've solved this by making voice chat opt in, except if there's 4 people in voice chat, they're all going to be mad at you for not joining and not listening. You're hurting their experience by not being part of it.
So now she's saying that if you don't join chat, then people are going to get mad at you. But if you don't join Discord, somehow that's okay, even though you're still not joining an active chat. And is saying that you will still get the disadvantage. So then what's the fucking point of any of this workaround then? Just don't join the regular chat. You don't need to remove it if you're still not going to get the advantage. It's that you don't want other people to have an advantage. And that is just really fucked. That's like coming to their house and taking away anything that's better than yours. Now I kind of see how people always accidentally make these things over 20 minutes, even though they're not trying to. So I'm just going to play a couple of clips and just comment on them after that. But it's not shocking that somebody that works for Twitch looks like this, has actual influence in the company. And also somebody with this kind of limited thinking. It's not very shocking that they act how they do in the next few clips.
I'm a furry. Yeah. And sometimes they get a little weird. I thought that inside our brains was the infinite human consciousness, and who a human was who they are inside. It's your brain. It's your brain that determines who you are. The people with cis white male sounding voices are here telling me that voice chat isn't a problem, and that is a fact. Y'all have voices that aren't marginalized coming in and saying, just mute, it's not an issue. Everyone faces harassment. I've heard it all. You're just repeating my a year ago.
So, a couple of things about that last clip. One, of course, they never actually try to state why anything that they said was wrong about everybody getting harassment and it's not a big deal and you can block people and all that or get thicker skin. Obviously, they just see those as inherently wrong and shouldn't be addressed and is not factual statements. On top of that, they said that everybody in there that's disagreeing with them are cis white male voices. This is a text chat. She doesn't know their voices. She hasn't clicked on their profile. She has no idea who these people are. It's funny that whenever you disagree with these people, you're automatically the opposite of whatever they're, trying to vote for or whatever. It's funny how when you disagree with these people, you're automatically the opposite. You're whatever they hate or that they are arguing against. And lastly, if somebody like this is on the safety community of Twitch and believes that because of your skin color or because of your gender, you can't be harassed or that, you can't have safety violations against you. It is really fucking disheartening to have somebody like that on Twitch who is able to say, nope, cis white guy must not actually have any problems. Somebody like this shouldn't be on Twitch's board. So that's kind of it. Sorry that the video was so long. I would like for these to be 10-15 minutes long. Some people probably appreciate longer videos. I know a lot of people just want shorter videos, especially when it comes to this type of commentary content, so they can move on to the next subject. I'm finally back. Things are opening up. I'm doing this after work like I used to because my afternoons after work aren't as free when it's not a weekend. So hopefully I'll be able to get some more videos out here and there. Okay, it's not going to be a regular thing, and I'm still working on the third channel that I'm trying to get started. But tell me what you guys thought of this. Do you believe this person should be on the Twitch board? Personally, I don't. Do you think that this person actually understands competitive gaming or really the gaming community in general? Again, I don't think they do. So again, thank you for tuning in and choosing to spend your time just listening to me and what I gotta say. If you are a returning viewer, thank you for the loyalty, especially after the break. If you are new, thank you for clicking on the video and checking it out. I hope that you end up staying for whatever's to come next.
Some people really debate to win. They debate to win instead of debating for like ideas and logic. But my facts and logic are correct, so of course people have to go about personal